Hey everybody, Casey Transformed here again, and today I have Transformers Generations Voyager class Springer, which is basically Hasbro's response to a classic Springer. Before this, we did have a third-party one known as Warbot, Warbot Defender I believe it was called, and it was pretty cool, but I decided to see what Hasbro had to give us, and I think they did a pretty good job. Let's get you a good look at the car. It's got all the classic Springer's colors. I mean, you got green, yellow, and gray. I kind of like how it's not all mixed up. We have like a patch of yellow, a patch of green, and we have two patches of gray on either side, and a little patch of white on the back. I kind of like that. Actually, kind of makes it look really solid in a way. Unlike the actual transformation, which I'm going to go ahead and say it now. This guy's a panel former, and yeah, you can kind of see. I mean, you can pretty much see right. I think you can actually see right through it. Yeah, you can actually see the light through that. And I had this guy together as much as possible. I have gotten the whole windshield to stick together before, but it's very difficult. And you can see that the windshield's the paint's a different color from the plastic. Same up here, you can see this is the camera's actually making it look worse than it is, but even in hand, it is a noticeable difference in color when you look at it. And we also, while we're looking at it, we have a small Autobot symbol on the front. Not sure you're going to be able to see that. My camera hates focusing. Nope, not going to be able to see that. Screw you, camera. And you get a better one. You do have the headlights painted, they're not really painted green. You got like little bulbs in there that are greenish color. The wheels spin well. The green rim looks really cool. We even have a spoiler. I kind of like how the spoilers are broken up in two. They kind of worked it in. It looks nice. We do have all this like mechanical detailing on it, especially right here. But you can see like little wires and this and all this stuff on the side. That piping there. It's all very nice detailing. I mean, the worst part about this is just where it's all broken up right here. But that's due to transformation. I don't mind it too much. On the bottom, of course, there's a little bit all folded up. He has two accessories that he has in all three of his modes. Of course, he's a triple changer. He has this big, massive cannon. I'm going to call it a shotgun. It kind of looks like a shotgun to me. That's why I kind of think of it as a single-hand shotgun, like a sawed-off kind of shotgun. You just see him fall out. And this sword, which is what's going to be needed for helicopter mode. We're going to start with how you put the sword in car mode. You're going to come under here. See these little bits are the wheels for the helicopter mode. The sword, you're just kind of going to, you have the green piece like this. You're going to kind of tuck it in here. Now how you're going to do that is you can actually see right there where the legs kind of bend inward. You're going to have the little peg kind of just go right in there. And that'll help hold it in place while you have the wheels hold it up by the guard. And it stays in there pretty well. I mean, that's not going to fall out. Then you can take the gun and you can put it up here. But I think it looks better here because it actually looks like it's attached in. It actually looks a bit more natural there. And yeah, there you go. You get this really an apocalypse car kind of thing going here. Yeah, it's like an armored car from the apocalypse. Speaking of an armored car from the apocalypse, here is next to the Generations Fall of Cybertron Sound Blaster. So there's a good size comparison. He's not as bulky or as tall, but he's a little bit longer. And with how his transformation is, instead of like unfolding from a circle, this guy kind of like, he almost has like an animated lockdown transformation, how he kind of springs outward. But you'll see that in a few minutes. But yeah, there it is. Well, you can see he rolls well. And there he is. It's a really nice car mode. I really like it. I think it looks really cool. It's futuristic. On to the next mode. For the helicopter, he of course has a helicopter mode. You remove his accessories. And if you lose the sword, his helicopter mode is useless. You can lose the gun and he just won't have a gun at all. But you lose the sword, you're screwed. So what you're going to do is come under here. You can actually see you unpeg the wheels from here. Flip them around. You have to also flip the spoiler around. Let me show you it from this side. See, it flips around like that. And then you have the wheels come together. Not sure if I'm going to be able to show that perfectly, but you can already see, yeah, they pretty much form the legs later on. So, of the two vehicle modes, it's easier to get the robot mode from the helicopter mode. Then you're just going to flip these down, which make the little tail fins for the... Not sure what they're calling the helicopter. We're going to call them tail fins. And you flip these out. These are just sculpted in wheels, so they don't roll, but honestly, would you want your helicopter to roll? And this is where all these pieces come into play. You can see they completely come off of here. Let me show you this. See, they were about here before. Now you kind of come out these little hinges. These look breakable, but I haven't seen stress marks on these, and there's even a little piping detail on them. So they're pretty cool, actually. Then you're going to take this piece, pull it out. You can kind of see what I mean by panel forming. Bend these, flip this, what was the sides of the windshield in car mode in, and you flip this in and get this. And you just kind of have it sit there. Same with this side, we're going to actually have it go ahead and sit here, but it won't sit completely because of this. Actually, you can go ahead and flip that in. There you go, now it's sitting there. Flip it around, and it exposes like the elbow joint for the robot mode and a transformation joint, basically. You can see this little peg, these little peg here and peg hole here. And you're not done yet. This whole piece actually comes up. You can see, yeah, the whole green piece there moves forward and clips into place. Then you take the legs, what would be the knee joints for legs, you break them basically. You kind of peg this part in to kind of stabilize it all. Then you're gonna come. It's easiest to get the wheel up like this, but I'm pegging your nose, reaching in, pushing the wheel out. And again, like the other wheel, it's a stationary sculpted in wheel. And there's your helicopter mode. And of course, you take the sword. See, there's the blade. You're actually gonna split the flat side of the blade like that. Flip this green piece on top, then they peg into place like that. Then you just put it in the middle there. And you get... Woo! Woo! Yay, helicopter. And there you go. You can see this is a bit long. It's not as... In this mode, he's not as thick as the... or as wide as the car was. But he's a bit longer. The car would have stopped about here at this white piece, and now we have this much. And he's technically wider here, the fins. And he's actually a very nice helicopter. I'd say he's definitely the weakest of his three modes, but I'm kind of glad he worked the helicopter in. My biggest complaint is just because of how long this handle has to be. This looks kind of awkward with how high up that is, but it does allow it to actually spin without hitting anything. Almost kind of wish it could go in like this, but then it won't spin. Oh, there is enough clearance for it to spin. Although this way you could also even have the blades down as if it's landed. You could actually fold the blades down. Or if you prefer this way. So it actually looks like it's in landed mode. You might notice that, yeah, because he's on this like one tiny wheel in the front, he has a tendency to do that. One way to fix that is you can actually fold the landing gear back in and attach the gun. You could technically attach the gun to the front of the helicopter, but it gets in the way of the blade. So what you can do is you can see these little notches. On mine, one of them is broken, but you can see from this side what the notch is supposed to look like. And they kind of slide in here, right where the landing gear is tucked in. It can be kind of difficult to get them in, but once you got them, you'll know it because it won't fall out. Mine not go anymore because one of the notches broke on mine, which you can see, yeah, these are very thin little pieces. But, oh, there we go. And you see, yeah, you now have some firepower, and it's actually a lot more stable because now it's sitting on this flat piece of the gun. So he's not going to tip over as easily. Woo. Oh my god, I could do this all day. I should stop. Yeah, they're using helicopter mode. Some of the new details is silver right here. There's, of course, these wheels here. Get a better look at the gun. It really does look completely different. It's surprising how different it looks from the car mode, considering it's just the car mode pieces rearranged. Very impressed Very impressed by this, Hasbro. Thank you. So, since we got... Oh, one more thing. I should compare him to... And in this mode, he actually doesn't look as small because of how long he is. It actually helps him make it look like he's the same size, just not as tall. So, yeah. He's a very nice little Springer helicopter. I love this thing. I like this more than the Warbot Defender's helicopter mode from what I've seen. Even if it doesn't hold together perfectly and looks a little funny from the side. Anyway, we should go into the final transformation. What you're going to do, take the tail basically and split it, make legs. You see the little pieces, you gotta straighten the leg out a little. Flip these up for his shin guards. And this part's kind of interesting. The feet actually move forward with this like wheel piece. You can see it's on that little stem. And then the heel will come out and you fold that back for its heel, that green piece. Oh yeah, unclick the leg one bit so he's not, broken kneed. Same on this side. It can be kind of difficult to get to move, but... Oh, that's because I was holding on this side. Sorry. My own fault there. But there's his foot. Nice solid foot. And you see he's got the kind of new stance where he's not meant to stand like this. He's meant to have his legs spread a bit. I'm kind of liking that they're doing that more and more with new Transformers. If I get the camera to... 1 second. Technical difficulties. Almost have it. Alright, I'll just show you from here. Now, maybe it'll help much. Alright, so unfold this again. But you're gonna keep the... You have to untap this, but only to get the hand out. Because when you flip this in, this is where you're going to get a lot of panel forming. You flip that in, flip that back in, there's your arm. Same with this side. Flip, flip open, flip around, flip back in, arm. Back here, you're going to remove that. Flip this up. You're going to actually leave it here. This is what I was talking about, like with the helicopter mode. Oh, yeah, go ahead and grab these. These extend outward, and you push them to the side. Extend. Push to the side. Flip this down. Fold. You're gonna have to fold the wheel out, otherwise there's no clearance for the head. And you might as well leave the wheel out, so that way you can get the head back through later, but you can just barely squeeze the head through. And there's the head, right there on the ball joint. Then this is really cool. The chest piece is actually 3 pieces right now. These little yellow bits hanging off the arms. You're going to untab them from the arms, which gives them some more range. And then you're actually going to tab them into the center piece that was the front of the car and the helicopter. And that's really cool, because he's using the front of his vehicle mode for his chest, but now it's also wider to make him look, bigger and stronger and stuff. Oh, yeah, you can see right there. I didn't tab it in right. There, now it's all tabbed in. Surprising amount of bulk, actually. But yeah, there he is in robot mode. Alright, now that we've got him all... Oh, stupid camera. 1 second. Sorry about that. Now we got him all transformed. Here he is next to the Voyager Sound Blaster. And now you can see there's not much of a difference, actually. I think the Sound Blaster is a bit bulkier. Just a smidge taller. But he also doesn't have 2 forms like this guy does. But that's just for height comparison, since I know quite a few people have either the Soundwave or the Sound Blaster. There he is in his robot mode, and I love the bulk they managed to fit into this guy. I mean, you wouldn't think all the panels would be kind of thin or something. No, he's actually got quite a bit of bulk. Plus the panels, he's not hollow since they actually fold like this. Kind of like almost in a Z shape. And because the panels are actually pressing to each other and making one flat. It's like putting several pieces of Lego together. It just looks really nice. It doesn't... You can still see where you fold it from panels, but it looks cohesive. It still looks cohesive and, whole. It doesn't look like a bunch of pieces just slapped together. And it feels good because it's not so light. I mean, this arm is pretty heavy. That's one good thing about all the folding up, and like that you get solid plastic. And he looks very nice for it all. I mean, let's get a good look at the head sculpt. A nice white face with his awesome blue eyes. Let's see if I can just get that in his light piping. Yeah, I can't catch the light piping. Failing at this. You might have seen it. You can see he also has a little bit of yellow on the vents. I kind of wish his crest was painted, but this head sculpt, man, I mean, should I? No, I don't want to break the ball joint. This head sculpt's just amazing. I love this head sculpt. This shouts Springer to me. This is definitely a Springer head sculpt. And then just how he looks is awesome. I mean, like, you can see he kind of has like robot abs without overdoing it. It kind of it looked really nice on him. Really strong but lean still kind of thing going here. And there's all this gray. There's this nice gray breaking up all the green on here. There's all this green, but there's a little bit of yellow here just to help break it up a little. Wish a little bit yellow had been like put here, maybe a little bit of gray. And then we have some white and gray, and the grays, and even this gray's broken up by some silver and some green on the heel. Even the gray on the wheel. So nothing's too much of anything. I mean, gray up here is broken up by the wheel and the silver and the yellow. And the arms mostly green and gray, so it's all broken up between that. On the back, it's just the. I mean, this is the only bit of Robo Kibble. This is the only kibble he has. This one flap here. And these flaps before counted by kind of like the style they're going for with that. I think the only thing that could be considered kibble are these. Even these you could fold up into the leg if you want. There, hang on. And they could even act as extra heels if you fold them up just the right way on the back there. If you fold them like that, you can actually have extra heel support for some of the more crazy poses if you want. And of course he has two accessories. Let me just go ahead and fold this back up into a sword. He has a sword. It's not two-handed, it's only got a handle on for one hand. But he does have a really cool sword. And of course he has that shotgun thing. Which with all of his posability, which we'll go over in a moment, is worth it. Oh, his gun does shoot. This little gray piece that was what the helicopter was laying on is actually the trigger. You push it down, and it's a really strong trigger. I mean, you really got to push that thing to get it going. It's not gonna, you're not going to shoot yourself in the face by accident, like I have with other Transformers. So, push all the way forward. It looks like this missile always, this side always shoots off before this side. That might just be how I'm holding it, but it always seems like, yeah, this side definitely shoots off first. And if you push all the rest of the way. Okay, so about midway through, it shoots one and it shoots the other. That's pretty cool, actually. You can get 2 consecutive shots in. And you just... There. 2 shots in the face. Sound blaster is down. I also kind of how it looks without the missiles. It still looks like a gun, even though it doesn't have missiles. But let's get those back in. Well, let's just take away accessories for a moment so we can go over articulation. He has quite a bit, and I love it. Okay, one problem is the chest does have trouble staying together, but once you get together, it'll stay usually. Shoulders are on a full rotation up here and go outward because of the hinge. It can look a little broken in some poses, but for the most part, it's fine. Swivel above the elbow. Very nice plastic ratchet. Rotation at the wrist, and some inward movement from transformation. Really useful. Let's see, the head's ball jointed. It can look all around, it can look down, it can look up a bit. He does have a waist joint, but you got unclip the kibble a bit to get enough room for it. But once you do, you got plenty of room to do it. And you can push the kibble back up once you get in the pose you want. But yeah, he does have a waist joint. Hinge at the leg. Swivel just under that hinge. So you can there's no ratchets in there. There are ratchets in the knee though. Really good ratchets. He will not fall over. And no posability in the feet by mine since he can automatically hold the wide leg stance. Yeah, that chest is coming apart. Another thing you do is you actually leave these folded in. It kind of makes them look a bit more bulky, but I kind of like how these look. I think it just look good on him. It helps to break up the color a bit more for me. And he has one other feature is he does have weapon storage on his back. He of course has these 2 ports from before. It doesn't matter which one you put where. You pretty much got to put them sideways. But there is a 3rd port under here. You can see right there. You can just peg it in. You can peg in the gun up here if you want. It doesn't matter which way you do it. And there you go. You just have them like that, and you can reach around and grab them, and the gun fell off. One last thing you do is you can actually combine the weapons. You can see there's a little port under there. There's one on top too, but it looks better from the bottom, in my opinion at least. You can get this huge bayonet on your gun. You can put it on top too, and you can kind of pretend it's like some kind of 3rd blaster. Or wait, can you flip it around? No, there's not enough room to flip it around. Otherwise, you could use the handle as a nerd gun. Oh wait, you split. Let's see if you split this and then put it in like that. There, you can pretend he has some kind of crossbow. And there's a number of different ways you can combine these two and do some kind of weapon. Oh, and it shot off one of the missiles that I'll probably never find again. I mean, heck, you could just attach it like this to give it a second handle. My preference usually is to just have the sword as a giant bayonet, because that seems so ridiculously awesome. I mean, just put that in his hand. This is where the hand posability really comes into play, because he can hold it like that, and even straighten out the sword. So you can get a really cool pose like that. Yeah, let's get that missile later. But there he is. With a dead sound blaster. Overall, this figure's really awesome. He's easily my 2nd favorite Generations figure. The only one I like more is the Bruticus that came from Fall of Cybertron. But he's easily a recommendation for your Classics collection. He's only about $20-$30 right now. I say he's worth every penny. Go out and get him right now. This has been KC Transformed. I hope this helped you, and have a good day.